Namaskar. Welcome to the example number 18 for the event Marriage Prospects. In this example, we are going to study a female chart whose destiny is signifying mixed signification for both for marriage and also separation. Interestingly, in this chart, you can find how the unfavorable key planets are influencing the favorable key planet, or interestingly that destiny planets itself is getting influenced by the unfavorable key planets through the supports. The role of the unfavorable key planet is not directly playing role as a ruler to the destiny planet, indicating troubles in the marital life or separations, because that destiny planet itself is a free planet. Since it is a free planet, it means no planet in its nakshatra. So that cannot be acting as the star lord for other planet. It can act as the sublord only for other planet. But in this case, that unfavorable key planet is sublord for in own. That unfavorable key planet in own sublord only. No other planet is in the sublord of that unfavorable key planet. So that unfavorable key planet can influence other planet, especially the seventh ruler or destiny planets, only by way of supports. Now, interestingly, that planet, unfavorable key planet, is afflicting the favorable key planet or the destiny planet by multiple supports. It means it is not only by aspect, but also it is also a sign exchange planet and also aspecting to the that Rasi Lord planet. So that way its influence is multiple way it is present. That planet which is influenced by the unfavorable key planet by way of multiple support, that is passing its influence to the other planets, that is called indirect supports. Both the things we can see in this chart. Let us check this chart now. Example 18, divorce. The important points can be found in this example as I was briefing. Number one, important role of unfavorable key planets through the supports, not through the rulers. Because that important unfavorable key planet is a free planet. And number two, the destiny planet itself is strongly affected by the unfavorable key planet through multiple support. Third point, influence of unfavorable key planet through indirect support. And all the rulers of the destiny planet and also the Dasa Lord are affected by the unfavorable key planets through supports. Role of favorable and unfavorable key planets favoring for both marriage and also separation. We could see that unfavorable key planets are posted in the supports and influencing the other planet, most of the planets, by way of supports. That we are going to discuss in this chart. This is the birth chart of that female. We are going to study the destiny prospects with supports for both marriage and also separation. First, let us study the basic study. Let me open that North Indian chart. Now let us study the preliminary study. Lagna is falling in the sign of Taurus. Seventh cusp is falling in the sign of Scorpio. Now, seventh lord is Mars, where Mars is posted. Seventh lord Mars is posted in the Lagna and aspecting to seventh house, that is fine. So, seventh lord is aspected by the seventh house is aspected by the seventh lord from the first house. That is good. Now, whether seventh house is afflicted by any planet. Seventh house is aspected by Jupiter Jupiter from the third house, aspecting to the seventh house. Jupiter aspecting seventh house is good, but it is conjoined with the Ketu, already afflicted by Ketu, it is aspecting it. Now, what we have to look into that, normally while we are doing the, general study, we'll be looking only CL and OCC. In this case, let us have a look at the Jupiter's self-significations. Let me open that significations. You can see Jupiter planet is the 8th lord, 11th lord, occupying third house, and 268 cuspal sublord. It is 6 and 8 cuspal sublord. 268. This is not good. 8th lord and 11th lord, and it is 268 cuspal sublord. And it is conjoined with the Ketu. Ketu, this Jupiter is a free planet, and Ketu also a free planet. That is 4, 8, 12 cuspal star lord. So Ketu is 4, 8, 12 cuspal star lord, and Jupiter is 8th lord and 6 and 8 cuspal sublord. It is having some favorable 11 and 3 and 2 also, but 8, 6 and 8 is not good. The 2 6th house and 8th house cuspal sublord. And conjoined with the 4, 8, 12 star lord, that is not good. So that way Jupiter is unfavorable significator, already conjoined with the 4, 8, 12. It is not good. That Jupiter is aspecting to the 7th house. 7th house is afflicted by the Jupiter. That is one point. Next point, if you see Jupiter is in the sign of moon, that moon in the sign of Jupiter. Sign exchange between the Jupiter and Sun. Now what happens? Look at the moon. Moon is third lord occupying 11th house. Look at the moon significations. Third lord occupying 11th house, but it is cuspal star lord for Lagna, and 4 and 7 cuspal sublord. So it is 7th cuspal sublord. It is the primary cuspal sublord of the marriage, and Jupiter is 6 and 8 cuspal sublord. So this is unfavorable key planet, unfavorable primary cuspal sublord key planet, that too weakened by the 8th house already, and further influenced by Ketu. Ketu also occupying the sign of moon. So moon is getting the influence of both Jupiter and Ketu. So Jupiter in sign exchange with the moon, so they are sharing their signification. So Jupiter gets the favorable 7 also, and moon gets the unfavorable 6, 8 and 4, 8, 12 also. This is through the sign exchange that moon is getting the impact. Now, in addition to that, you can see Jupiter is aspecting to moon by 9th aspect. Jupiter is aspecting to moon by 9th aspect, right? So it means what? Jupiter is aspecting to moon, who is posted in its sign. Also, it is having sign exchange. It indicates what? Moon is multiple support, getting multiple support from the Jupiter. Not only being the Rasi Lord, and also sign exchange with that moon, and also aspecting to that moon. So that multiple ways we would have studied in the supports, the multiple supports. Jupiter is aspecting to moon, who is posted in its sign, and it is already in sign exchange. So moon, the good key planet, moon 3, 11, 1, 4 and 7, good key planet, is influenced by the Jupiter and also Ketu, its second planet. So that is the reason favorable key planet is under the influence of unfavorable key planet. That too, favorable key planet means destiny planet itself is strongly influenced by the unfavorable key planet by multiple ways. That is one point. Second point, even in supports we would have studied the indirect supports. Now Jupiter is which are the planets are under the influence of the Jupiter? Moon, Ketu, and Jupiter is aspecting to Rahu. Rahu represents Saturn, so that Saturn itself is posted in the sign of Jupiter. So Rahu, Saturn indirectly getting the support of Jupiter, because that Saturn representing Rahu aspected by Jupiter, and Saturn also pushed in the sign of Jupiter. That is also multiple way it is getting influence. So any other planet but this Mercury, Venus, and Sun, these three and Mars are not under the direct influence of the Jupiter, right? But you can see that Venus, Mercury, and Sun, they are aspected by the Moon. Now what happens? Jupiter is getting the influence from the, Moon is getting the influence from the Jupiter by multiple ways, and that Moon is aspecting to the Mercury, Venus, and Sun. So indirectly, that Venus, Mercury, Sun are also getting the influence of the Jupiter. Of course, they are getting the support of the Moon, which is favorable, and also that unfavorable significations also passed on to them. The only planet which is not directly or indirectly influenced by Jupiter is Mars, because by indirect also Mars is not connected, but directly also not getting aspected. Mars is in the sign of Venus, that Venus is getting, so only through the in remote way only it is getting getting the connection from the Jupiter, but directly or indirectly by this way, except Rahu, that is seventh lord, all the other planets are getting affliction. It means what? All the planets, when they are ruling the star level or sub level, whatever by the level, Jupiter's role will be significantly playing. That Jupiter is very strongly unfavorable. In addition to that, Jupiter is conjoined with Ketu. That Ketu is 4, 8, 12. So it is talking about strongly being the eighth lord and the 6 and 8 cuspal sublord. 2 also will join hands to the 6 and 8, because 2 is 8th house to the 7th house. When it is unfavorable houses are connected to the second house, that also will join hands with them. 2, 6, 8 and also 4, 8, 12. So that Jupiter influence will be strongly afflicting other planets. That we have to keep it in mind. That's what we have to normally, when we are studying the self-significations, we have to see that if any 1 or 2 planets are strongly unfavorable with their unfavorable significations, and if it is a free planet, then we have to think that its role will be only by way of sublord or only by way of supports. So sublord only some planets only can have. You can see in this chart, Jupiter is having sublord for Jupiter only. No other planets is sublord for the Jupiter. So that way, only Jupiter in own subsort is becoming very strong, but no other planet is directly getting the ruler of the Jupiter. So that way, that Jupiter can give its influence only by way of supports. So whenever we are finding some unfavorable planets are strongly playing, we can find which are the planets are in the star and sub of this unfavorable, or which are the planets are strongly influenced by these unfavorable planets. Which planets are under the influence of this unfavorable for the particular event? If the primary house ruler itself is getting affected, that impact is going to be more on that particular planet. Suppose 7th lord or 7th cuspal sublord, if they are under the influence of the Jupiter, 7th house matters are going to get disturbed. 7th cuspal sublord planet is going to be disturbed. You're able to understand? So that we have to keep it in mind. So what we are normally doing, taking the favorable key planets, if their planets are ruling the favorable key planets in their rulers, we are checking. Similarly, if any planets are unfavorable present at the star level, sublevel, we are checking. But sometimes if the strong unfavorable key planet Ketu, also free planet, Jupiter also free planet. If their free planets are present, their influence will be strong in the supports. Or if a node planet through the second planet, so we can check it. So that point also we have to keep it in mind. So now I think you could learn something in this discussion. Now let us check the self-signification strain and coloring all the next step. We will let us proceed now. Now let us go to the EPS page and check the self-significations. EPS and let me select the self-significators. Yes. Now let us focus on the colors. Ketu, third occupant, 4, 8, 12 star lord. So it is indicating weakness that to Ketu. Second planet is good. Second planet is good. Please understand, when a planet can be a good significator, but it is a primary cuspal house significator, then if that planet is having other unfavorable or trouble living houses, it is also having, that house matters will get afflicted due because of the unfavorable. Suppose without the primary house to the event, other favorable houses are, if they are present, and obstacles of giving houses or unfavorable houses are present, that impact will not be directly on the primary house matters. If 7 is not there, suppose it is 5 only there, that moon will be a favorable key planet for the marriage because it is having all the favorable houses, and fifth cuspal sublord also. 4 is having some weakness, but this 4, 8, 12 will not give, it is indicating obstacles, but it is not directly influencing the fifth house matters. Rather, it is influencing to the third house matters or fifth house matters, not the seventh house. Because now it is having 7, it will get the impact on the seventh house. I think we're able to understand. Now, Ketu, what we can do, 3, 4, 8, 12. So 3 is good and favorable houses also present. So let us make this one is a mixed one, right? And Venus, Lagna Lord, 6th Lord occupying 5th house. So Lagna and 5 is good, 6 is also getting reduced, but 10th sublord. So if it is not 10th sublord, this will be comparatively better because 1 and 6 in 5 it is good. Because of the 10th sublord, definitely Venus will be a mixed planet. Lagna supported, 6 is getting supported by the 10th house, right? At the to this sublord. Sun, 4th Lord occupying 5th house, 5 and 5. So 4th Lord is not that much weaker, but only the 4th Lord means it has got some weakness for the 5th house matters, for the affection and all. But occupying 5th house, 5 and 9. This is good only. So because of the 4th Lord, we can make Sun blue color. And Moon, 3, 11, 1, 4, and 7 cuspal sublord. All are good except the 4th sublord, but is also not very strongly, signifying any unfavorable. But second planet is having weakness. That's what I was explaining. 7th cuspal sublord, 7th ruler itself having 4 and 4, 8, 12 in its second planet, that to a free planet. 7th house matters are going to experience troubles. Lagna will experience obstacles on the 7th house matters. That we have to keep it in mind, right? Now, since Moon has got favorable grouping because of the 4, 8, 12 in the second planet, Moon can be given light green. Please understand, the Moon's is sign exchange with the Jupiter, and Moon is multiple support by the getting the multiple influence from the Jupiter. That those things and all we are not considering right away because we will not be knowing what support planets are there. But in the initial study, I was explaining. But here, what we can find only the Ketu, which is the second planet, having some weakness. So because of that, Moon favorable, not given dark green. I have given the light green, right? And Mars, 7th Lord, 12th Lord occupying Lagna and 10th star Lord. So 7 and 11 is good, 7 and 1 is good, 12 and 10 is not good. So it is having some weakness, definitely. So Mars has to be given blue color. because 7 and 1 is good. 12th Lord and 10th Star Lord, we can make it's having some weakness. So either we can give blue or we can give mixed also, because 12th Lord occupying, yes, we can give mixed better than the favorable, because 7 and 1 only there. So we can give mixed. Rahu. Rahu is having that. Just a minute. Next, Rahu. Rahu is holding ninth occupant, 2-6 star lord and Lagna sublord. 9 and 1 are good. 2-6 is talking about the professional prospects. It has got some weakness, but this is fine. Rahu. And second planet, ninth lord, 10th lord occupying 8th house, 3, 7, 11 cuspal star lord, and 3 and 12. So we can definitely take Rahu as a mixed one, because having both 9 and 1, 6 also there, and some unfavorable, but favorable 3, 7, 11 also there. We can take it as a mixed one. And Jupiter, because whenever 8 and 12 is coming, we need to give some negative color, right? Jupiter, 8th lord, 11th lord occupying third house, 2, 6, 8 cuspal sublord. So 8 and 6, 8 is bad. So 11, 3, 2 are okay, but as I said, 2 will join hands with the 6 and 8. So this is definitely is going to be weak. We can give light red, not the dark red. Saturn, 9th lord, 10th lord occupying 8th house, 10 and 8. 3, 7, 11 is good, but 3 and 12. Third house is okay, but 12 sublord. 8th occupant, 12 sublord, some weakness is present. And this favorable grouping also strongly present. So Saturn we can give blue, because it is having favorable grouping, but because 3, 7, 11, it is getting some strength. 9th lord, 3, 7, 11 star lord, but 8th occupant and 12th sublord, it is having some weakness. It is not having 6th house in self, but second planet having this 2 and 6. Still, because of the favorable grouping, I can give that Saturn the blue color, right? So depending on the level wise study, because it is occupying 8th house and sublord also 12th house, this 8 and 12 can give obstacles to the other planets also, right? So that we have to keep it in mind, that 8th occupant and 12th sublord, this can indicate some obstacles to the previous level planet. So because of that, this 8 and 12 can give obstacles also. So what we can do, Saturn can be given pink also. I think because 8 and 12 is there, no, so we can give pink also. But it means what? It is both favorable and unfavorable significator. And Mercury, it is good. 2, 5, 5, and 5, 9, 11. So Mercury is a good key planet. So we can give light green. So I think we are given good colors. Not good colors. We got the respective colors for all the planets. And depending on level wise study, we have to keep it in mind. Importantly, the Jupiter is the only planet we are given light red. Moon is given green, but you know that Moon already having the influence of these 4, 8, 12 and Jupiter also, and 6, 8, 12, 6, 8 combination. But Moon, for because of that Moon, we cannot give blue because of this affliction, because it is got favorable. So that is favorable also, but indirectly getting the influence of this unfavorable. We have to keep this in mind. Now let us set colors and we'll go to the main page and check the destiny. Now let us do the study on destiny. Just a minute. Let me close this. So we already studied the natal chart, wherein except for Mars, all the planets are under the influence of Jupiter, especially through the Jupiter itself and through the indirect support from the moon, that Rasi Lord of the Jupiter. Now let us check the significators. Let us check the destiny with the help of the significators. Seventh Lord. Seventh Lord is Mars. We have to check the Mars. Mars is seventh Lord. You can see this is good only. Mars is free from Jupiter's influence, that you have to keep it in mind. But Jupiter is 7th Lord and 12th Lord also occupying Lagna and 10. Though it is 7th Lord, but when it is moving towards right, I mean, other significations are not very strong. It is 7 and 1 is good, but 12 and 10, they are indicating some weakness. So that we have to keep it in mind. So that is what we are given pink shade. Star Lord is Moon, our green planet. But you can see second planet Ketu already discussed is 4812. It is having weakness strongly at the 2A level. Sorry, as the second planet. 2A level planet is Mercury, sublord is also Mercury. So these are all good, right? And star lord of the sublord also Moon, that is also good. If you look at the seventh lord, star level, sub level, everything is fine. So that way it is not a problem. But star lord is also good key planet. But you have to keep it in mind that affected by the Ketu, and as we already discussed, this planet is affected by Jupiter and Mercury or Mercury. No, these planets are under the influence of the Moon because Moon is aspecting to the Mercury, right? Yes, Moon is aspecting to the Mercury. So because of that, ruler link is being passed. Ruler link from the Moon to Mercury, Mercury to Moon are passed so that they are favorable or getting supportive for the marriage. And also indirectly, the unfavorable K planet Jupiter and Ketu's influence also passed on to the other levels. So, but as of now, seventh lord is supportive. Unfavorable key planet for the marriage in the seventh lord is Mars and Mercury. Then comes Sun, right? Now, seventh sublord. Seventh sublord is Moon. Seventh sublord is Moon. Moon in the star of Mercury, 2A level Sun, and sublord is Venus. This Venus is pink, 1, 6, and 5, but 10th sublord. 6 and 10 and 1, 6 this is a mixed significator. So the planet and star level and 2A level, if you look at only the favorable grouping, they are all supported. But sublord 1, 6, 5, and 10, it is indicating some weakness, right? But one level planet, if it is a mixed one, its support planets on the next star lord planet, if it is favorable, its favorable strength will be increased. That is the rule. Now the Venus is in the star of a planet that is favorable, but indirectly some effects are there. And Venus is, if it is having Moon in its supports, then it is going to be favorable. As we are aware that Venus is aspected by Moon, right? And Rasi Lord for Mercury conjoined with Mercury itself. So Venus is aspected by Moon. So the Moon is influencing the all the levels. Mercury also, Venus also. That is the reason the Moon planet is forming ruler link to all the levels, passing its favorable significations to the other level. That is fine. And next level planet also Moon, that is fine. But indirectly, it is also giving 4812 to the 7 also, to the other planets also. In addition to that, Jupiter's influence, that is Jupiter's strong unfavorable key planet, that is influencing Moon, that we have to keep it in mind. That afflicted Moon is passing its unfavorable to the other planets also, that we have to keep it in mind. So if you look at the primary cuspal sublord destiny planet, the favorable key planets are directly, if you see, Moon and Mercury. So Moon and Mercury are strongly playing, and Venus is a mixed one, and also Sun also. Moon, Mercury, and Sun are the strong favorable key planets, or making the destiny is supportive. And which are the unfavorable key planet is afflicting the destiny planet? Directly Ketu, and through the supports Jupiter. These two planets are unfavorable key planets, and Sun and Moon are the Mercury are the favorable key planet. As far as the seventh lord is concerned, Mars is as a mixed significator. So we can take Mars is a mixed one, not complete unfavorable, but Ketu again repeating. So unfavorable key planet Ketu and Jupiter are strongly playing. That we have to keep it in mind. Now, next one is the Venus. Venus also on its own, it is not very strong, correct? Which planet is making that destiny is weaker? Ketu, indirectly Jupiter, and the sublord is Venus is having some weakness. That Venus is getting the influence of the Jupiter and Ketu indirectly, then automatically that one Lagna Lord, sixth Lord, 10th sublord will get the impact of this unfavorable Ketu and also Jupiter. So unfavorable K planets are influencing the destiny planet are Venus, Ketu, and Jupiter, right? So that we have to keep it in mind. Now what we have to do, we have to check the Dasa Lord, which Dasa the native got married. So that we have to check, and we have to check the key planets of the Dasa Lord, and we have to check the unfavorable key planets, and which are the favorable planets as a Bhukti Lord can favor for the marriage. Now the native is running Venus Mahadasa, right? So Venus Mahadasa is the marriageable age started from Venus Mahadasa itself. So in Venus Mahadasa, which are the favorable key planets are making the Dasa Lord supportive for the marriage or not supportive for the marriage, that we have to keep it in mind. Let us check the Venus Mahadasa. Venus itself, as we studied, Venus itself is a mixed planet. So unfavorable, which is making the destinies weak. That itself is running as the Dasa Lord. Just with the source planet, we cannot decide. So it is indicating some weakness. Star Lord planet Moon, sublord also Moon. So the two favorable key planets, seven sublord, this planet are ruling the Star Lord and sublord. 2A level and last level also Mercury. These are also good. So if you look at the star lord and 2A level and sublord and star lord of the sublord, it is ruled by favorable moon. That is good. Moon and Mercury both are green planets. Both are the key planets of the destiny also, right? Now that way it is fine, but being the Lagna and 6 and 10, it is influenced by the because moon is aspecting to Venus and vice versa, right? So both are, I mean, moon and Venus getting ruler link, and Mercury also getting the ruler link. So that way favorable also supported, and 1, 6, 10 unfavorable key planet indirectly at all levels, Jupiter also influencing. Right? That we have to keep it in mind. Moon is passing its significations to the Venus, and Venus is passing, being the source of the planet, that is passing its significations to the moon, which is favorable, but influenced by 1, 6, and 10, and also Jupiter in supports, and also Ketu. So the unfavorable Ketu, Venus, and Jupiter are ruling. Here, Venus itself is directly ruling. Ketu as the second planet. Ketu is the second planet, and Jupiter in supports, it is present. So indirectly, it is influencing, supportive for the marriage also, supportive for indirectly supportive for the troubles also. That we have to keep it in mind. I'm repeating, unfavorable key planets of the destiny, Venus and Ketu, and obviously Jupiter will come all the times, and they are all playing role here. That destiny planet Moon, seventh cuspal sublord, already influenced by the Ketu, and Jupiter itself is playing star level and sub level. So that way, that star lord, sublord will support for both favorable and also unfavorable. That Dasa Lord itself is having some unfavorable, that is also influenced by moon. So that is supportive for both favorable and unfavorable. If you look at only the star lord, sublord, all levels, all green color, yes, it is favorable for the marriage. Yes, it is favorable for the marriage. But we will not notice that unfavorable significations also directly playing at the source level, indirectly through the second planet, And importantly, the support planets, Jupiter is influencing the star lord and sublord, right? That we will miss it. So that we have to keep it in mind. Now, Dasa Lord we have checked. In the Dasa Lord, which are the favorable key planets? Moon, Mercury. Definitely, Moon, Mercury is important, and unfavorable Venus and Ketu and Jupiter role. I mean, should not be there in the Bugdi Lord. So the Bugdi Lord, which is having the favorable key planet, that will favor for the marriage, depending on the level-wise strength. Now let us check the after Venus, Sun is coming. Venus Dasa, Sun Bugdi. If you check it, Sun is fine. Star Lord is Moon. That is good. And the 12 level Mercury is good. But sublord planet is Saturn is a mixed one, which is having these unfavorable houses. So these favorable houses are getting some weakness at this sublevel because 8 and 12 are present. Favorable are present, but 8 and 12 strongly present. That is not good. Here also for 8, 12 and 8 and 12, it is indicating some weakness. If you look at the moon planets, that is the sublord, 7th sublord planet, moon in the star of Mercury, 12 level is Sun. That Venus is as a weakness 1, 6, 5, and 10, but it is having 8 and 12. 10, 8, 12 is different, and 1, 6, 5, 10 is different. It is having weakness, but not detrimental. Now, one level is weaker, as I discussed already. This level is becoming weaker, but that is being supported by the star lord, and also that moon is aspecting to the Venus. So that way its ruler link also passed. Mercury also conjoined with the Venus. So the rulers are passing their significations to the sublord, making that sublord favorable or getting support from these favorable key planets, and the star lord also favorable key planet and supports also favorable key planets, especially with the ruler link. So because of that, moon is supportive, and you can see there is no 8 and 12 at the star level, 2A level, and sub level when compared to this, right? So moon is favorable. So next one is Mars. So Mars is okay, it is a mixed one. Star Lord is okay. This is 12, 10, and again Star Lord this one. And 2A level planet Mercury are coming, and that is also fine only. But last level also fine. The only problem is the source planet Mars is having 12 and 10. Unfavorable or present. Straight away, moon is coming at the star level, and that is fine only, but it is having that 4, 8, 12 also indirectly present. So not indirectly, it's a second planet. So this is having some weakness when compared to this. So that way that moon is comparatively better than the Mars. I think you are able to understand my discussion. Now comes the Rahu period. Rahu, right? So now the native is running Saturn Dasa, Saturn Bugdi. So Saturn Bugdi, I mean, she already got married and separated also. So now we have to check the Moon, Mars, Rahu, and Jupiter, which are the planets are favorable and which are the planets are unfavorable. In that, we check Moon is favorable. This Mars is starting with the 7. It is talking about some obstacle, and star lord is supportive with obstacle, and sublord is also supportive. So it is having some mixed signification. So to conduct the event, Mars will not be strong enough, right? Then Rahu. Rahu is mixed one at the source, ninth lord and Lagna sublord, and the second planet only Saturn. Star lord is Moon Escom, like Mars and Mercury. Then again sublord is Moon Escom, it is good. And sublord of the star lord of the sublord is also Mercury. So these Moon, Mercury are repeatedly coming, all having favorable green, green, green. Indirectly, 4, 8, 12 are present, right? But when compared to moon, it has got some weakness because it is having that 8 and 12 in second planet against favorite 12, 4, 8, 12, and favorable also present, and unfavorable 8 and 12, trouble giving. Pink shade planet at all the levels. First level, second level, third level, not directly second level and third level, only by 2A level planet. Not 2A level, sorry, second planet. So for the node planet. So that way it has got some weakness present. So when compared to moon, when compared to Mars, this is better, but when compared to Moon, it has got some weakness. You will be feeling that why that Mercury and 2A level and sub-level all both are Mercury, it is comparatively better than the this moon, no, when the unfavorable are present. But correct. But you can see we have to be careful that whenever one planet is starting with the primary house in the cuspal lordship or cuspal sublordship, right? Here cuspal sublordship, here cuspal lordship. Cuspal sublordship planet itself is having favorable but indirectly influenced by the Ketu and the Jupiter. Now this planet seventh lord itself having some weakness in self-signification, and Mars is in the sign of Venus, right? Mars in the sign of, let us check the, yeah, Mars is in the sign of Venus. So Venus also in its supports. Venus is another, moderate planet. It is not strong also, it is not detrimental also. 1, 6, 5 and 10. That Mars in the star of a planet, it is fine, but second planet having weakness. Here also second planet is having weakness, but it is not having the seventh house here. It is not having the seventh lord, or it is not having the sixth lord. When the primary house is ruling in the source, that star lord, if it is supporting to the primary house, it is going to be more favorable. Seventh sublord in the star of a planet is very good, supporting to the seventh house. Seven itself is not unfavorable, it is good only. Here, seventh lord itself having some weakness. It is supported by the moon, but unfavorable are getting the support of this Ketu also, because moon is strongly afflicted by Ketu. If it is not strongly afflicted by Ketu, the Ketu's influence to the Mars will be comparatively lesser, because moon in the sign, Ketu in the sign of moon, and that moon is sign exchange with the Jupiter, that Jupiter is conjoined with the Ketu. So the influence of the Ketu strongly on moon, that is being experienced by the Mars. So that way, this source level and effect level, this combined level having some weakness, because starting from the source itself. But here it is not like that. Ninth occupant, 2, 6, it is talking about the professional prospects, because Karma Trikon and Lagna sublord. That way, in the star of favorable key planet supporting to the favorable, further supported. So that way, the obstacle causing houses are there. Because of that, it is weak. But when compared to this, it has got strength, because 7 is experiencing unfavorable. Here, Lagna or 9th house are going to experiencing the both favorable and unfavorable. Here, 7 is going to experience favorable, and some weakness. That weakness is being supported by the moon. I think you are able to understand. That is the reason I'm trying to explain in detail the rules. Okay, so level-wise study. You can see that Jupiter is having, Jupiter we need not check at all, because Jupiter itself is unfavorable. Star Lord also, Saturn is also mixed one with unfavorable. And again, Venus is not good, not supporting to the favorable of the Saturn, and again sublord is Jupiter. So Jupiter is very strongly unfavorable. Now, under Venus Mahadasa, which are the favorable key planet? Moon, Mercury. So that planet which are having this Moon, Mercury in its rulers, that this moon, sublord is Venus, the key planet, that source planet of the Dasalad itself, but that is not very strong, not detrimental, but as I discussed, that is getting the support from the next level planet and through the ruler link also. So that way, moon is better, and after the moon, Rahu is better. Despite some obstacles, these two planets are supporting for both. Supportive for marriage also, supporting for some obstacles also, but obstacles are not strongly present directly, only by way of, indirectly they are present. So that marriage is possible by Venus Mahadasa and Moon Bugdi and Rahu Antra. So let us check the date of marriage. The date of marriage is 21/8/2015. So let me erase this. 21/8. Date of marriage is 21/8/2015. Let us check the period. Venus Dasa, Moon Bugdi, 21/8/2015. You see, Rahu Antra. Venus, Moon, Rahu Antra, the native got married. Venus, Moon, and Rahu Antra. So that native got married during this period. You know that Venus is already having some unfavorable. Sixth lord is going to experience this because, as I said, the source planet is having some unfavorable primary or favorable or unfavorable primary house. That sixth, it is not having this 10 or any support of the sixth house in itself. Then six, signification itself will become weaker. A planet can be a sixth lord, but it is reducing its strength by 5. It supposes any other favorable 11th house or 7th house, all are present in the CST, or 11th, all fifth, again 5th house or third house are present, means sixth will not be further supported, so that sixth signification in the source, it is not strong. The star lord, if it is having some unfavorable which is supporting to the sixth house, that sixth house unfavorable will get only less impact of that unfavorable of the star lord, because six itself is losing its strength in the source planet. But here six is getting the support because Lagna Lord, sixth Lord, Lagna is supporting to the six also, and occupying 5 is good, but it is sublord for the 10th house. Now it is having the unfavorable other key planet, that being the Lagna Lord will get the impact of the unfavorable also, being the sixth Lord, that also will get the unfavorable key planet in supports. Now this 6 will experience this 4/8/12 also, again 4/8/12. So that Lagna is going to experience favorable, 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 and also unfavorable also is going to be experienced. It means Dasa Lord is supportive for both marriage and also struggle. We already studied in the destiny supported by the star lord and sublord having some weakness, that is being influenced, supported by the moon for the marriage, right? So the destiny planet only supporting the Venus, so that way it is supporting also, indirectly it is giving the trouble also. That Venus, which planet is the some weak planet in the destiny, that itself is running the Dasa Lord, and next level are supported by the favorable and unfavorable. So it indicates what? It is supportive for both marriage and also, struggle in the marital life, or separation also can be promised. Now, within that Venus Dasa, Moon Bugdi, Rahu Antra, the native got married, right? So now she got conceived also. So after the conception, so she will be sent to her parents' house for the delivery as per their practice. So actually, she was sent to her parents' house during that Venus Dasa, Moon Bugdi, Venus Antra. You understand? The Venus Antra itself is talking about that unfavorable also. It is Lagna 116, and it is supportive for the separation of the Lagna from the 7th house. Same Venus Dasa supported for the marriage. That Venus Dasa is acting as the Antra for the moon. In the moon, which is the unfavorable key planet, Venus. That Venus is ruling as the Antra during that period. That native is sent to her parents' house for the delivery. After that, she did not go back. Even the husband did not come to see the child also. Then she has been living there, and a lot of discussion, some dispute, something happened within the family, and she did not go back at all. And they applied for the divorce, and later they got the divorce also. So you can see which period she got the separation, and separation in the sense physical separation. Physical separation happened in Venus, Moon, and Venus, and divorce, they applied for the divorce, and the divorce, definitely you can see which the Bugdi can give the divorce. Obviously this Jupiter, right? After the Moon Dasa Bugdi was over. Venus Dasa, Moon Bugdi, Venus Tantra, she was sent to her parents' house. Then after that, Venus Dasa, Moon Bugdi over, and Mars Bugdi was running. You can see Mars Bugdi is talking about some supportive, but through the seventh house, some hurdles, struggles are indicated. So because of that, Jupiter is also playing role at all levels. That we already saw that. So this is not indicating any legal separation. It is but indicating some troubles because of the seventh house. But in the Rahu, during the Rahu period, they applied for the divorce, right? So they applied for the divorce, and a lot of discussion happened during that Rahu period. So they wanted to apply for the divorce during that period itself. Finally, they got the legal divorce. More than the Rahu, you can see the Jupiter. Jupiter is strongly supportive for the all the unfavorable. You see the planet which is under the which planet is making the destinies weaker. Venus is starting, right? But the planet which is influencing the that destiny, or what are the planets? Ketu and Jupiter strongly, and Venus is joining hands with that, right? These are the three unfavorable key planets. You can see Jupiter itself is playing. Saturn is supporting to that, right? Saturn next to that Jupiter, Saturn. Sublord 2A level is Venus. Our Venus also has come. And you can see that Ketu role is not straight away present. When Ketu is coming, being the free planet, it cannot act as the star lord also for any planet. And Venus also, Ketu also not acting as sublord for any planet. So it can act only as the second planet for the moon, and all in the supports. But when it is acting as the second planet for the moon, obviously that first planet is having favorable key planet signification. So that will not favor for the thing to happen directly. So now Jupiter is strongly unfavorable. So during Jupiter period, Bugdi, it is supported for the legal divorce process and legal divorce. So in that Jupiter Bugdi, the which Antra would have supported for the to get the legal divorce under Jupiter Bugdi. Okay, under Jupiter Bugdi, which is the favorable key planet to give the legal separation, definitely Venus. Why no? Because this is talking about separation, struggles and separation. But you can see 1, 6, 10 is strongly signified by the Venus. So right now, Venus is a strong significator. You can see Jupiter in the star of Saturn, Saturn in the star of Venus. Now the Saturn itself is acting as the Bugdi Lord, not Bugdi Lord, Antra Lord. Venus Dasa, Jupiter Bugdi. Within that Jupiter Bugdi, Antra Lord is Saturn. That Saturn is having the star Lord Venus. So unfavorable key planet of the Jupiter. Supportive key planet for the separation, legal separation is Venus strongly playing, and comes Jupiter. Now, directly Venus is acting as the star lord, right? And sublord all seems to be favorable for the that girl, some other relationship, or supportive for some other thing. But this is supportive for the legal separation, right? So as per the government rule, when that whatever the period they are giving as per the government's rules, she will get, and normally the native will get the legal separation, right? So the legal separation happened during that Venus Dasa, Jupiter Bugdi, Saturn Antra. So that you have to keep it in mind. Okay. So that way that marriage is happened, and separation also happened. And date of marriage I have given. I will give that date of divorce 2/9/2021. 2/9/2020. So much of period. 2/9/2021 is the legal divorce, because Jupiter Bugdi started in you see, in January of 2021 only Jupiter. After that only that serious action has been into the strong process. That one is led into the separation. During Rahu period, it is having a mixed signification. So they will try to do that. They would have been thinking all these things, but initiation would have been done, but that strong process is done and completed in Jupiter Bugdi and Saturn Antra. I think you are able to understand this one. And this is an important chart wherein you can see the influence of the support planets multiple way when a favorable planet is influenced by the unfavorable key planets, and especially these unfavorable key planets are free planets, and it is giving the favorable strength by way of the favorable key planet. It is supportive for the favorable, but indirectly or unfortunately unfavorable key planets are influencing the favorable key planets. So when their turn is coming, they are going to give the trouble also. I think you're able to understand. Then we'll meet in the next video with the help of the pilt table, how we can find the unfavorable planets also in their rulers. Good luck.